Our world is living inside a strange paradox. Every country is in debt. The United States is buried under trillions of dollars of debt. The European Union, Japan, even economic giants like China and Germany are in the same situation. So if everyone is in debt, who is the creditor? The answer to this question is the key to understanding how the modern world works. Today, debt is not just an economic concept. It is the system itself. States, companies, individuals, all of them live within an invisible network. The name of this network, debt. But our story didn't begin with credit cards. Let's go back to the year 1694. England is at war and running out of money. The solution? Borrowing against future taxes. And so the Bank of England was established. And for the first time in history, a state began to spend money it did not yet have. In return, it made a promise to investors. I will pay you interest. That's how they laid the foundation of modern finance. This idea spread quickly. Other nations followed: France, the Netherlands, and then the United States. Power was no longer measured by how much gold you had, but by how much you could borrow. Because a state that can borrow can also buy the future. At the point we've reached today, the picture is even more striking. Total global debt has exceeded $300 trillion. That's roughly 3 times the size of the global economy. But here's the most striking part. The world isn't really in debt to someone else. It is in debt to itself. How? The U.S. borrows, investors buy bonds. Who are these investors? Banks, funds, pension systems. So in the end, it's still people. And this system isn't unique to one country. Japan lends to the U.S. The U.S. finances Europe. Europe lends to developing countries. Those countries invest their money back into major economies, so everyone lends to everyone else. The global economy is like a constantly rotating web of promises. At the center of this system there is a powerful actor, of course, central banks. Institutions like the Federal Reserve or the European Central Bank create new money by purchasing government bonds, which means every unit of money in the system is actually the other side of a debt. No debt, no money. But what keeps this system alive is not money. What really matters is trust. As long as investors believe that governments will repay their debts, everything works. But when that trust is shaken, that's when crisis begins. We've seen this before. Greece collapsed under a debt crisis. Argentina has defaulted multiple times. Sri Lanka was shaken by economic collapse. Suddenly, the question, who is the creditor, becomes very real. So, do governments actually repay these debts? Short answer, no. In modern economics, debts are usually not repaid. They are rolled over. Old debts are paid off with new ones. This system is called sustainable debt. For governments, the goal is not to eliminate debt, but to manage it. There's an even more interesting truth. If the United States tried to pay off all its debt, it would be a disaster for the global economy, because government bonds are a safe asset for banks, a core investment for pension funds, the foundation of global finance. If debt disappears, the system collapses. That's why, in the modern world, debt is not seen as a problem. It is a necessity, but not for everyone equally. Interest payments usually flow from the bottom to the top, from workers to investors, which makes debt not just an economic issue, but also a social one. So, the final picture looks like this. Debt is no longer just a burden. It is the heart and brain of the modern economy. Governments create it, banks multiply it, investors manage it, and people are condemned to live inside it. But there is one thing that should never be forgotten. At the foundation of this system lies a single thing: trust. If that trust is ever lost, debt stops being just a number, and everyone is forced to face the same question: who and where are we really indebted to?